Yes, this is a continuation of the morning shir this morning, which was quite hostile and antagonistic in a lot of the people's comments. And maybe there's a misunderstanding of what I'm trying to do here. What I'm trying to do is to present my Kabbalah. Kabbalah is what is received. One is only a Kabbalist after all his questions are gone. This is not a positioning here where I'm questioning. Did Hashem create the world? Is there a God? To what percent should one believe in God? This is my positioning here. And apparently, for some, I wasn't humble enough. Well, this is what I've received, and in the tone and the way that I've received it. And so from now on, my scopes, which I love the Periscope format, because the Periscope format permits from my room here and my piano My name is Alexander. Thank you. And this is my Kabbalah, what I've received. And if it offends people, then too bad. I don't back off from what I've received. This is my position. I feel the body is the temple, and that the body is the third temple, and that we're living in Olam Haba, and that the world is perfect as is. That doesn't mean that one can't improve in perfection. But the world is perfect as is, and there doesn't need a correction. One can be elevated. Song is one of the methods and the methodologies to elevate one within the spectrum of things. Oh, that's good. If you believe the body's the temple also, then you should listen. As you know, I think you were here earlier. Some people don't think that the body is the temple. Well, it's too bad for them. They don't appreciate it. Read about the Mishkan. Read about the temple itself. And the destructions of the temple which took place on the 9th of Av. And please understand that the body itself is higher than the soul that comes down and occupies that body. If it's a perfect world, what is the point of the world to come? Actually, in Hebrew, it's Olam Haba. That means the world that has already come. It's your recognition of that world. The world's already here. It's for you to recognize it, and that's what my scopes are about. It's to tell you that the world is already here. You have the capacity to think that the world is going to come later on, or the world to come has already come, but you just don't see it. You see? Hold on, I have to shut the door. Randy. I think he has the television on. Please shut it. Please, somebody has the shut his door. The world has the potential to improve 100%. That's in the world to come, in Olam Haba. There will still be an aggrandizement. There'll still be improvement of the individual. There'll still be work to go higher in the individual soul. That's all in the normative Judaism. It's not mine. And as I said earlier, I'm not smart enough to think of anything new. Everything that I say has already been said. It's just that I'm old enough to have read it all. There'll still be improvement. There'll be still new things. Here's the world to come. Here's a new song. Still be new. The world to come is not a static place. It's a recognition in your own mind. And even in the world to come, there will be total life like it is now. What you see now is the world to come. All people are one. So when your individuality dies, the world still lives. That bothers you, or you don't like it, or you don't like to hear it, then don't listen to my scopes. And that's what I wanted. I am presenting my material. If it's not good for you, if you don't like it, shut it off. You know, the beauty of these scopes is that they travel around the world. It's like one's own channel. Channel 2. CBS in New York. Theoretically, 10 million people. That's exactly right. It's being written down here. You can only live one day at a time. Do your best every day. Et voila. Voila. You don't need more than that. You don't need more religiosity or spirituality or understanding of godliness. The great gift is that God gave you life. Now live one day at a time, improve yourself every day, and recognize that the gift of life in this world to come is it. Et voila. That's an improvisation, and life is an improvisation. And we're given the parameters to improvise. And that's about the story. And my Kabbalah is what I've received. And if you don't like it, don't listen. Thank you, man. questions, I'm happy to answer them. What can I say? So that's the positioning of my scopes. My scopes is, I say my position. If you don't like the position, don't listen to the scopes. And remember that scoping and this kind of like people thing is a new experience, so one doesn't know how to handle the totality or its originality. So that's why. Hold on. Yeah. Oh, that's terrible. Thank you very much, by the way. Thank you for the follow, and I think you were there earlier when you heard the antagonistic things. These were from antagonistic people who actually had been following my scopes. And they don't like to hear it because it breaks the convention. I don't break convention. I extend what the convention is actually saying. That's how you create the new. I believe in the Jewish God. The Jewish God, which is called Yud-Kei Vav-Kei and Elohim. I believe, for me, because I'm Jewish, I have a Jewish soul. If you're not Jewish, I don't want you to be Jewish. There's nothing wrong being Christian. A Jewish soul is different. See? It's a different aspect of God. It contains a special thing, and it's a special thing. That doesn't mean it's better. It means it's different. And that aspect is supposed to be a teacher. You see? Yes, me too, I believe in him. Well, very good. I'm glad you do. And I want you, there's nothing better than a good Christian. Jesus was a good Christian. Nothing better. And for those who are Muslims, I don't want you to become Jewish. Nothing wrong with being a Muslim. Each of these, well, any questions you have about the Jewish religion, don't hesitate to text me or call me. I don't know if my number is on this thing, but you can Twitter me or something. Well, good. But the point of all this is that this scope is a new medium. The scope is a new medium, and how to use this medium is only being, started now. So I'm giving my scopes, and I'm giving my Kabbalah. I have no questions, no doubts. I'm presenting what has come to me. Kabbalah comes from the word l'kabel, which means to receive. This is what I've received, and I have an impetus to express. For better or worse, that's what I do. That's part of a Jewish soul, to express godliness that's come to him and to show it to other people. So that's actually my position right now. I have a song called Jerusalem. It's called Welcome to the City I Live In. I'll just play a few bars. Welcome to the city I live in, to the the house that I dwell in, to the city of love. Listen to the voice of the city, Yerushalayim, this shofar in its gematria. As you circle dance around me, pointing at me with a finger of your hand. It's my garden here, just for lovers, be it marriage or a one-night stand. So welcome to the city I live in. That's enough of that. It's funny, but the part of the thing, oh, thank you. And funny that part of that song is, as you circle dance around me, pointing at me with a finger of your hand. That's the whole idea of the 15th of Av, which is coming up. The maidens in Jerusalem circle around Hashem and point to the center of the circle. And, well, that's what this story is. It's a long story. I think the question was, what do I think of the world today? I think the world today is perfect. Can it be improved? Yes. But it's perfect. It's perfect, fertile ground for you to see that everything is perfect. And that you're supposed to have simcha, joy, at all times, no matter what the conditions are. If God really created the world, and this is really Olam Haba, then you should have simcha, joy, happiness at all times, no matter what happens, because it's the will of God. And so that's actually how you determine if a person believes in God. If he has sadness, he really doesn't believe. How could he be sad? How could you be sad? If this is Olam Haba, it's the way we look at it. That's exactly right, the way you look at it. And the people earlier today want to look at it the wrong way. It's not the wrong way, it's the way for them. And that's what can be improved even in Olam Haba. It is perfect. It's a perfect expression of Hashem right now. That doesn't mean that Hashem will not change that expression. You see? And how you view it. As I said earlier, the Baal Shem Tov says, you are where you think you are. So if I'm here playing the piano, and I think I'm in France playing in a little pub, a little cafe in France. Bonjour to the ciudad I live in. Now I moved to Spain. So a man thinks so he is. Of course. Hey, I didn't make this up. You know, it started that you should be like that, but Baal Shem Tov said that. And also they say the man should always be happy. That's it. If you get it, you got it. Quite frankly, you don't need to know more. Everything is predicated on that. That's the basis. It's not a question of staying positive, because it's not positive and negative. See? It's the acceptance of what is. Once you're positive, then you are entertaining the negative, because one always entertains opposites. So we're in the center, where there's no positive and negative. We're in total acceptance. The what is. The what is perfect. It's not a question of being positive or to think good thoughts. They are. Is what it is. That's exactly right, and that's it. And that's perfect. Well, be satisfied with no less and no more, because that's what you're given. Be satisfied with your portion. You know what they say in the Shabbos prayers, that Moses was the most humble man because he was satisfied with his allotted portion. So if you don't have envy, you don't have anger. The worst emotion is anger. It affects the liver and kills you. You understand? The point of is not having these negative emotions, so to speak, is that the person that they affect is you. You're the one who suffers with these emotions. So be happy. That's a quality. It's not a question of being positive, negative. Be happy that you're alive and can enjoy. Here, I'm playing music. Welcome to the city I live in, to the house that I dwell in, to the city of love. Welcome to the city of love. Listen to the voice of the city. Jerusalem is shofar. You know what that means? Jerusalem, which is the name of Jerusalem, is shofar. You know what the shofar is, that you blow the shofar. It's got the same gematria. Gematria means numerology. They're both the number in Hebrew lettering. You go by the Hebrew lettering and you add up the letters, and that's the gematria. And two words with similar numerology, similar gematria, similar totals, there's a great parallel in them because of their numbers. I'm going to give you a really high Kabbalah thing here. Number is higher than letters. Number comes from Chokhmah. Letters come from Bina. Number is higher than letters. And so here we are. And the number of Yerushalayim, the city of Jerusalem, is the same as the number of shofar. So basically, the two are the same. If you really want to know, you can study in that for like 5 years. Okay? There's a lot of other things too. That's right, there's a lot to learn, and that's what the great pleasure is. Once you have this attitude as a predicate, without that attitude as a predicate, you're learning all things, but they're individual units. When you know the source, and all these units come back into the black hole, so to speak. And some of the things that you expressed here tonight on these notes that you sent on the Periscope here, if you use that as the source, and then whatever studies come back to the source, know that simcha, joy, happiness, joy joyous. That's the secret. That's the religiosity. Be joyous, and then you'll be the highest realm of religiosity. The whole idea of Judaism is to get you to be joyous. And when you're joyous, you'll understand. You see? Sadness means, I'm sad. Well, beautiful if God brings you joy. Beautiful. I'm not here to convert you. You're not Jewish. Be what you are. If you're a Christian, be a Christian. Beautiful. Be a Christian. I don't know what, I don't, be like Jesus. There was a perfect example. That's all. I don't, the person is writing notes here, but your God is my God. Yes, I understand, but the approaches are slightly different. The approaches for a Christian are different than approaches for a Jew because the level of the soul is of a different level. So my level of the soul, it leads me to express myself this way. Your level of the soul might be of a different way. I have to do certain other things to be satisfied and be satisfactory. So, there are certain doesn't matter. I believe in tone. Okay, well, I don't know about that from the Christian point of view. Maybe your soul is Jewish. There are a lot of people who are Christians who have Jewish souls and they don't know it. Because there were a lot of dispersions, like in 1492 in Spain. And there are a lot of other people who, because of anti-Semitism throughout the centuries, and say in Germany and all sorts of places, Egypt, had to say they weren't Jewish at a certain time. And they lived as Christians, or whatever other religion was in the dominant part of that society. But that doesn't mean told I had relatives in Germany, so this may be. Maybe they were Jewish and had to say they weren't. Completely understandable. See? So that's what you should check, maybe your heritage, or if you want, call me up. And, tell me a little bit about what the bloodline is, so to speak, and where it came from and what you might think. Remember that Judaism, like I have a connection. Well, if you do have a connection, then you might be Jewish. Nobody said no, because who in their right mind would have a connection to be Jewish if they weren't Jewish? A connection to be persecuted against, to be put in concentration camps, to be anti-Semitized against. So if you have a connection to that, there possibly be that you have a Jewish soul. And that's what could stem and why you're uncomfortable, because you're not exercising your Jewishness. You see? So may I say, look into it for yourself, for your own happiness. Find out if you are. You have to check to see if you. And even if you're not, the most beautiful thing in the world is a convert, because a convert means that you really do have a Jewish soul. You see, Ruth is the ultimate convert to Judaism, and the Mashiach, Messiah, comes out of the line of Ruth, and so the Messiah actually comes out of the line of the convert. But the convert really means that they always had a Jewish soul, but it was kept in darkness, so to speak. So check into a little bit and let me know. Contrary to what you might think or earlier, that's why I'm here. I'm here because of this, and not to convert people, but just have people find themselves. I don't want you to be me. You're a woman there. You have a beard. You have a beard. I have a beard. You don't have a beard. You can't grow a beard. So I don't want you to be me. Hold on a second. Randy! Hold on. Yeah, hold on. Did you get out? Okay. What? I'm on the thing here, so watch out, Brian.
What is it?
Hello? Could I want you on the screen, that's all.
Yes.
What, hello? What's the matter with him now?
I don't know.
Could you find out? Because I can't concentrate.
What's the matter?
See, the reality of it is that I'm doing a scope and there are people behind me. Some had open doors, some had locked doors. They wanted to come out of the locked doors and they call on me who is doing a scope. So it breaks my concentration, but that's part of the daily encounter. So there must have been a reason for it that I don't know. Am I supposed to be angry because of that? Or I'm supposed to sing. Welcome. I'm so young when it comes to loving, when it comes to loving. I'm so young. Thank you. That's where I'm at here. I don't know if I have that contact information there, but please contact me if you do have any questions about this. And what I do is I study because that's part of my pleasure. Because I find out, and I've studied all Kabbalah stuff for 40 years. And I studied Talmud and Torah and the codes and everything else. The Kabbalah is only an extension, not an extension, but it's the fourth level of the soul, so to speak, and you must have, cognizance of the other levels of the soul before you can even get to that level of Kabbalah and of receiving. And that's the way it is. If you don't have any questions, I'm going to hang up. This was a beautiful shiur today. Gave me a great pleasure this evening. And this is kind of, I have to go too, but I will follow you. Nice to meet you and see you next time. Thank you so much. Thank you for joining me, and thank you for your input, which spurred me on. Thank you.